So in last class, I asked you to draw a diagram of a level process control. Okay. So through that diagram, we discussed about I think you all understood the need of standardization of instruments, means the need of a common rule to represent different instruments, how to represent the instrument. If you have similar type of instrument, how to identify these two. I think you understood all these things in last class. Okay. And I think you are familiar with some standards, like you are using a common symbol for resistor, inductor, capacitor, etc. Right? Okay. So if you are asked to draw a circuit, everybody, all of you will draw the same type of, or you are using the same symbol for resistor, capacitor, inductor. So that one is an advantage of standardization. Okay, because you are using same type of symbol for a particular instrument or component, means everybody can understand your drawing. Everyone can analyze your drawing, etc. So that one is a main advantage of standardization. Okay. So in instrumentation control field, two different types of standards are used. Okay, one is ISA standard and second one is you will study about the second one in power plant instrumentation. Okay, so here we are going to discuss about the ISA standard. We are going to discuss about standards. Okay, so these are the references that I used for this slide, that is standards. Okay, so first one is graphic symbols for process displays, that is ISA 5.5. I am following this particular one. Okay, so then second one is instrumentation symbol and identification, ISA 1992. Okay, so I am following these page numbers. So this one is an example of ISA diagram. Actually, this one is the DCS diagram or ISA diagram of a distillation tower. It is also known as distillation tower, is also known as distillation column. Actually, this particular one is the symbol of distillation tower or simply column. This one is the symbol of distillation column, and you can see that this one is the symbol of pump, the bottom one. You can see four different things. This one is a symbol of centrifugal pump. This one is a symbol of accumulator, a horizontal one. This one is vertical. That one is used for tower, and this one is used for accumulator. Okay, then you can see a circle. This is actually used to represent the type of indication and the location of that device. For that purpose, this one is used. Okay, so we will explain that later. Different types of symbols. Okay, then similarly, you can see a number of alphanumeric numbers inside or along with symbols. You can see a number of alphanumeric number like TIC 106, PT 101, TC 101, etc. These all are alphanumeric numbers. So it is known as tag number. So actually the ISA standard or DCS diagram is the combination of symbol, like this one is a symbol of pump. Then you can see the symbol of valve. This one is a symbol of valve body. Okay, this small thing. This one is a symbol of valve body. This one is also the symbol of valve body. Then you can see a tag number. So actually, ISA symbol is a combination of pictorial representation, that is symbol itself, and tag number, alphanumeric. Okay, so normally in DCS diagram you can see these two. Okay, so one by one we are going to discuss things. First we have to discuss about the purpose of ISA standard or simply standard. What is the scope of ISA standard? And then we have to discuss about tag number. What is tag number? What are the informations carried by a tag number? Then we have to discuss about different types of symbols, especially the symbol of even this straight line, this continuous line is also a symbol. Okay, this thin line is another symbol. In some situation you can see dotted line. That one is also a symbol. In some situation you can see straight line with a double slash. That one is also a symbol. Okay. So what are the different types of symbols? So I think we need 4 hours or 3 hours to discuss about all these things. Okay. So the first one is, what is the purpose of standard? A simple one. This one is a definition, purpose of standard. That one is given in reference to establish a uniform mean of designating instruments and instrumentation systems used for measurement and control. Okay, a uniform mean. If you are drawing an instrument or instrumentation diagram, the symbols must be uniform. The similar type of diagram we have to use. Okay, so it is used to provide a uniform mean. Okay, so that one is a purpose of standard. Once again, to establish a uniform mean of designating instruments and instrumentation systems used for measurement and control. So that one is the purpose. So what is the scope of this ISA standard or simply standard? So our requirement may be different. Our knowledge level may be different. If you are drawing, so in last class you had seen, if you are drawing a process, then with respect to our knowledge, we will try to draw the diagram. Somebody will use block diagram representation. Somebody will use the some graphical representation. Something different knowledge you will use. So that one is knowledge level is different. The procedure may be different, or procedure needs may be needed. Our requirement may be different. So what will be the thing? We need some uniqueness. Okay. So for the purpose, ISA standard is used. Okay. Then second one, the application. We have different types of industry, like chemical reactor is there, petroleum industry is there, power generation, power industry is there, clean room management, clean room control is there, metal refining is there. What will be the industry? The instruments used are same. They are using valve, they are using controllers, they are using regulators, they are using some airstream lines, they are using some steam line, they are using some process line, etc. So the instruments or in some sense something is same, like some fluid is flowing through some pipe, some gas is flowing through pipe. So even if industry is different, something is same. So if some instruments are same, we need the common representation. Okay, so that is the scope. That is why we are using standards. Okay, and one more thing is the application point of view. Application point of view also ISA symbol or ISA standard will help us. For example, by using drawing, by using design, the operator can identify the location of each instrument very easily. The location, type, the fluid that is flowing through that one, the pressure level of, or current level of that variable, etc. can be identified by using that sketch. Okay, so work activity point of view, that design sketch will reduce the task of operator. For me also, it is very easy to explain a process by using ISA standard. So teaching point of view also it will help. We can easily explain a process by using the ISA diagram, then showing the real process. It will help us. Okay, you know, to write a technical paper, or you know, to do some literature research purpose, it will help us. Okay, then another one is, it is I already told you, it will help us to give a detailed functional description. We can describe what type of function is the, what type of control loop is the, that we can explain. Okay, so these are the main scope. The first 5 things, that one is the main application of the ISA standard. Okay, even if we are replacing some instrument, if you are planning to replace some instrument, with respect by comparing that diagram, you can purchase a new thing. Means the diagram will have the specifications of each line, the specification of the different components associated with what you are going to replace. Okay, so by using that, so ISA symbol will or ISA drawing will help you for any replacement, etc. Okay, so this one is the application of ISA standard. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about. So up to this point we discussed about scope, purpose and application. Now we are going to discuss about ISA symbol. So how to identify a system by using ISA standard. So from this point we are going to start our ISA standard. How to identify a symbol. So here left side you can see a symbol and tag number. That pictorial one including this circle is the symbolic representation, and this alphanumeric part is the tag number. So an instrument is identified by using both this symbol and this tag number. So here I think you are familiar with this symbol. This is actually control 1. Okay, but you can see that here this one is a combination of a number of symbols. We will discuss about this detail in later classes. So here this particular one, this combination of two triangles, this one is the symbol of valve body. This particular one, this one is a symbol of valve body. Okay, now this T shape, this one horizontal line and this vertical line, this one is a symbol of diaphragm actuator. This one is a symbol of diaphragm actuator. Then above that you can see a curved one. This is actually pneumatic, means we are using pneumatic signal. So this one is a pneumatic actuator. So this is actually pneumatically actuated control valve, pneumatically actuated diaphragm control valve. And one more thing is if we don't know the type of control valve, we are using the same symbol. So this one is a general symbol also. This one is a general symbol of valve. Okay, so this is so I told you this one is a combination of a number of symbols. Now what about this circle? This circle means this one is located in field. This one is a field located device. That is the indication of this circle. Circle means this one is the device located in field. Okay, so if you have a straight line inside this circle, means this instrument is located in central control room where the control engineer is sitting. Okay, if you have a straight line inside this circle, the horizontal line inside this circle means this one is located in central control room. If you have two parallel lines, two parallel horizontal lines inside this one is located in axillary location, not in field, not in control room, between these two. So these are the thing. So now this tag number is also carrying some information. Okay, so we can discuss about that. So please note, each instrument may be represented on diagram by symbol. So this instrument is represented by using that symbol. So similarly we have a tag number. So from tag number we can identify the function or operation or type of operation of this instrument by using tag number. Okay, so first we are going to discuss about tag number. So tag number. So this one is an example of tag number. Forget about this rectangular thing. TIC103. That one is the tag number. So by using this tag number, we can identify the instrument. So please note down this tag number TIC103. So this tag number is also known as instrument identification number. Means we can identify the instrument by using tag number. So tag number is used to locate the position of that instrument using DCS diagram. Okay, so this one is known as the instrument identification number, means we can identify the instrument by using this number. So the question is, what are the informations carried by this tag number? What are the informations carried by this tag number? So what are the informations carried by this tag number? So before that, you can see that this one is a alphanumeric combination. It have character part, TIC is the character part, 103 is the numeric part. Okay, so tag number is the combination of these two. These two must be recorded. Any one is not sufficient. We need the character part and we need the numeric part. Okay, so you can see a minimum 2 characters. In tag number, you can see a minimum 2 characters and maximum 5 characters. Okay, similarly, you can see 3 numbers. In some situation, you can see some suffix followed by these 3 numbers. Nowadays, instead of 3 numbers, they are using 4 numbers because the number of instruments are increased. So now, instead of 3 numbers, 4 numbers are used. So what are the information carried by this tag number? Okay, first one, 103 means number part. This number part is known as loop number. Control loop number. You have flow control loop, you have level control loop, you have pressure control loop, you have steam flow rate control loop, you can see temperature control loop, etc. Each control loop is represented by using this number. For example, if you have a loop, say level control loop, all instruments of that particular control, all instruments used for that particular control loop is represented or identified by using the same numeric part 103. For example, if you are using a level transmitter, level sensor, I2P converter, control valve, etc. for the same level loop, then the number used for that particular loop or number used for all these instruments will be 103 or 102, something like that. Same number is used for all instruments located in a particular loop. Okay, so the question is how can we identify these different instruments? This part will be different. This alpha part, the character part will be different. So please note 103, the number part is used to identify the loop. So please note the number part is known as the loop number. So please note each instrument located within a loop has the same loop number. The problem is if a particular loop have the similar type of instrument, in some situation you can see a loop have more than one temperature sensor. In order to increase the accuracy, in order to provide troubleshooting and etc. In some industry will use two same type of sensors in the same loop. Then how can we identify that? So we can identify the same type of instrument by using a suffix. So if we have same TIC 103, means if we have same temperature controller in a particular loop, then we have to use 103A and 103B. A suffix is used to identify the same type of instrument in a particular loop. Okay, so that one is a modification. Normally there is no need to discuss about that. So please note 103 is the loop number. Okay, okay. So now about TIC. TIC is known as a function identification. We can identify the function by using TIC. Means by using the character part, we can identify the function. So here you can see that this is TIC. TIC means this instrument is used to indicate and control temperature. T means temperature, I means indicator, C means controller. Both indication and control are possible by using the same instrument, and it is used for temperature. Okay, so please note the character part is used to identify the function. Function identification and loop identification. That is a combination. TIC is the function identification and 103 is the loop identification. Okay, so now we are going to explain the function identification. So function I told you minimum 2 character we can see and maximum 5 character we can see. So we can split this character into 2 parts. First one is T. We can call it as first letter T. T is the first letter. Then remaining part we can call it a succeeding letter. Okay, first letter, succeeding letter. So two combination, two parts are there. Then again I am modifying that. First letter may need, in some situation we need to modify the first letter. So in some situation you can see a modifier for first letter. A letter will be there after T if we need a modification. For example, to represent pressure we are using P. Then the question is, what letter is used to represent differential pressure? What letter is used to differential pressure? So P for pressure means, to represent differential pressure we need PD, P differential. So at that point D is acting as the modifier of P. Okay, so first letter, normally first letter means only one letter is used. In some situation we need two letter. Along with first letter we need a modifier. Now here we have only one letter, T, there is no modifier. So this is temperature. Now succeeding letter is I and C. So now succeeding letter, in some situation you can see one succeeding letter, in some situation you can see two succeeding letter. So here we have two succeeding letter. In some situation we need a modifier for succeeding letter also. For example, if you are indicating high temperature, then you need ICH. Means you are indicating high temperature and controller. So ICH, where H is acting as a modifier of IC. Okay, so please note, in some situation you can see two letter and maximum you can see five letter. So we are going to discuss about that. So T is the first letter. So please note, first letter is used to identify the variable, what we are measuring or what we are indicating, that we can identify by using the first letter. So here T is used, means we are indicating or we are doing something on temperature. That instrument is specifically for temperature. Okay, so the variable or the physical variable that we can identify by using the first letter. So T means temperature. So I told you may have a modifier also. Okay, in some situation we have to use a modifier also. So now succeeding letter. So here I see the succeeding letter. So succeeding letter or succeeding letters. Okay, so here I think we can use a bracket also, succeeding letter or succeeding letters. Okay. So this is used to identify the operation that is performed. So IC means that instrument is used for both indication and control. So indication is a operation, controlling is an operation. So succeeding letter is used to identify what operation is carried by that particular instrument. So function means operation. Okay. So normally if you have two letters, in some situation you can see only TC. TC means temperature controller. In some situation you can see TI. TI means temperature indicator. Means in this particular case that instrument is used to control temperature. Means that instrument is used for temperature purpose, that is first letter T, and that instrument is used for control action. It is used for control. Now here this instrument is used to indicate temperature. No other purpose. It is used to indicate temperature. But here TIC means it is used for indication control. We can write TCI. Why? If you have two succeeding letter, then there is a priority. If you have two letter, then second letter is used. That is here I. Second letter is used to identify the readout function. Readout means indication. That one is a readout function. Sensing, that one is also a readout function. We are reading that variable. Okay, so if you have two succeeding letter, then second letter means I. That one is used for reading purpose. That one is a passive function. We are not doing on that. We are reading that variable, or we are visualizing that. For example, if you are seeing something through glass, then G will be the letter used. For example, rotometer. Or if you are using some TV, so we are visualizing something. So if you are visualizing temperature through TV, then we have to use TG. Is it okay? So second letter means that one is indicating the reading or readout function. And what about third letter, that is C? That one is output function. We are outputting something to that instrument, or that one is used for some outputting purpose, controlling. That one is outputting, one type of outputting. Okay, modification. If you are using this instrument to modify the value of some variables like I2P converter, then that one is a third letter. If you are forced to use two succeeding letter, then first one for readout purpose and second one for outputting purpose. Okay. So please note, we can use TCI, we have to use TIC if you are using that instrument for both indication and control. Okay. I think you don't have any doubt. So I am continuing this. Okay. So now first we are going to discuss about different first letter. That is, what are the different variables used as first letter. Anyway, we are using characters. So we can use A to Z as first letter. Okay. So how to identify the function? I told you function is mainly identified by using the first letter. So these are the different letters. Okay. So here, so you can see this one is the first letter. So if it is A, that one is for analysis purpose. If you are using some spectrophotometer, or if you are using some NMR spectrophotometer, then you have to use, or if you are using some ORP sensor. What is ORP? Oxidation reduction potential. Then it is used for analysis purpose. So A is used to note that. So A means analysis. What about B? B means burner. Red color red color letters. It is very important for us. So you have to remember this. Okay, that's red color. Black color is important. Okay, so please note, B is used to represent burner. Now EMF, E is used to represent voltage. This is, I think you are familiar with this notation. E is used to represent voltage. F, very common one, F for flow rate. Flow rate is represented by using F. Okay. Then H, hand operation, for hand valve or something, H is used. Okay. So H means hand, not heat. Please note, H is not heat, H is hand. Now I is common. What is I? Current. I is used to represent current. J is joule, that is power. J is power. Okay. So J is used to represent power. K is used to represent instant or time. If you have a clock based controller, then the first variable will be K, Kc. Or if you have some clock based activator, then you need K variable. So K means time. If you are comparing something with time, then K is required. So anyway, but that is not important for us, that is black color. Now next one is very popular to you, L, that is level. Okay, so L is used for level. This is first letter. Then you can see C, D, G, M. These letters are used for usage choice. Usage choice means some industry needs some letters to explain not common variables. Common variables are like level, current, etc. are common variables. In some situation, they need their own letters to represent some variable. So at that point, they can use, or we can use C, D, G, and M. Okay, leave it. So this, so please remember, A for analysis, B for burner, E for voltage, F for flow rate, H for hand, I for current, J for power, L for level. P, that one is also common, P for pressure. So I told you PT means pressure transmitter. So P means pressure. Okay, Q means quantity. Q means quantity. That is not important for us. R for radiation. If you are sensing radiation, then RE we have to use, radiation sensor, radiation primary element. Okay, so R for radiation. S for speed and velocity. S for speed and linear velocity. Not angular velocity, linear velocity. So S for speed and velocity. Okay. T is again common. We already discussed about that. T for temperature. Okay. U for multivariable. It is a multivariable sensor or multivariable indicator. That is not common. Okay, very important one. V. We are actually not using that, but it is very important. V for vibration. V for vibration. Okay. So W for weight and force. We can't use F for force. We already assigned F for flow rate. So W for weight and force. Please remember that. X is unclassified. Y for event or state. If you are using some event based controller, event management, then we can use Y. E is used for voltage. So here Y is event. Y for event. And the next one is also very important, set, position. Position is set. Okay. Set is used for position. So we can summarize our first letter. Can you remember what is A? Analysis. What is B? Burner. Right? Then what is E? Voltage or EMF or potential difference. What is F? Flow rate. Okay. What is H? Hand. What is I? Current. What is J? Energy or work. Right? Then what is K? Time. What is L? Level. What is P? Pressure. What is speed? Yes, it is important, that is why it's mentioned. S means speed. What is temperature? T. Okay. Then what is V? Vibration. Okay. W for weight and force. Z for position. So these are the important first letter. Now the question is, if you are measuring, instead of pressure, if you are measuring differential pressure, what we have to use? We can use P alone. We need a modifier also. Okay, that is why here you can see a big separator. But before this big separator, we have first letter. After this big separating line, we have succinct letter. But before that, we have two columns. One is first letter, and some situation we need a modifier also. So now we are going to discuss about the modifier. So what are the different modifiers that is used? First one, differential. D is used for differential. Because, so please note, D is, we can't use this modifier alone. That is not possible. We have to use this modifier with the first letter. If you are using this D with pressure, that is PD. So PD means pressure differential. That is differential pressure. Okay. If you are using D with temperature, then this is differential temperature. You can see different types of differential temperature in analytical instrumentation. You have temperature differential based analysis are there. So at that point you can see a differential with along with T that you can see. So D means differential. Then what about ratio? Ratio or fraction? Ratio or fraction. So that one is used to or F is used to represent ratio or fraction. So if you have pressure ratio controller, then you have to use PR, PRC you have to use. So if R is used along with some first letter, it means ratio. If it is used with level ratio. So F means ratio or fraction, both are same. Okay, then J is not important. J means scan, that is not important. K means time rate. If you are going to use some instrument to find the differentiation of some variable, then we need time rate along with that variable. If you are finding the differentiation of level, then we need LT. Sorry, LK. I am very sorry. LT is level transmitter. LK. That is why we are not using T for modifier, because already T is used as a succeeding letter for indicating transmission or transmitter. So in order to avoid confusion, time rate is by or modifier time rate is represented by using K. Okay, momentary is not important. Now here integration, like differentiation, I told you in order to represent differentiation, that is right, K is used as a modifier. Similarly for integration, Q is used. So Q means integration. If it is a modifier, Q is used to indicate integration. Now safety, temperature safety controller. So at that point we have to use S. S means safety. Please note, this one is not a standalone letter. We have to use this one along with the first letter. So S means safety. Now you all are familiar with gyroscope. Gyroscope is used to measure the oscillation of x-axis acceleration, y-axis acceleration, z-axis acceleration. Similarly, in lathe, we need to measure the x-axis vibration, y-axis vibration, z-axis vibration. So at that point, we need to use x, y, z. Means if it is, say, if you are measuring that along with position, if you are measuring x-axis position, then we need px, means x-axis position. If you are measuring y-axis position, we need to use py. If you are measuring z-axis position, we need to use pz. Okay, so these are the modifiers. So now we are going to discuss about succeeding letters. So I told you succeeding letter how in some situation we can see two letters simultaneously. So at that point, the first one is readout variable and second one is a control variable. So this column is readout variable and this column is control variable, output variable. Then what about the third one, modifier? So succeeding letter, you can see minimum one succeeding letter. In some situation you can see two succeeding letter, and in some situation you can see three succeeding letter. That is modifier also. That is why I am saying minimum you can see 2 letters in tag number and maximum 5 letters in tag number. Okay, so what about A? A means alarm or annunciation. Temperature alarm, you can write TA, means temperature alarm. So you can see that only 2 letters are there, temperature alarm. What about 3 letter? You can see PDA, differential pressure alarm. PDA, differential pressure alarm. So at that point you can see 3 letters. Okay, one first letter, one modifier, then one succeeding letter, PDA. Okay, so please note A means alarm. Then E is used to represent, if the succeeding letter, if the readout variable is E, that is sensor. Sensor means primary element, that is why E. Element, primary element, that is sensor. So E means sensor. So I already mentioned about G, glass. If you are visualizing something through glass, for example rotameter, then we have to use FG, flow rate through glass. So G means glass. Okay, so please note A is important, A for alarm, E is important, E for sensor, and third important one is indicator, I for indicator. So we already mentioned about the TIC, where I for indicator. So please note I for indicator. Okay, so please note if you are using an instrument to indicate and control, if you are using an instrument to indicate and control the differential, the high value of differential pressure, what we can use. So anyway, it is used for differential pressure, then we have to use PD. We have to use PD. So that one is the first letter with the modifier. Then indicator, so that is I. Then one output is there, that is controller, C, that is here. We are going to discuss about that. Then one modifier is also there because we are indicating high value, so H. So at that point you can see 5 letters, PD, I, C, H. Okay, anyway, we are going to discuss about fourth letter and modifier. So anyway, I means indicator. Okay. So what are the remaining letter? O. O means restriction, orifice restriction. Or for simply, for if you don't know the type of restriction, if you don't know the type of restriction, we can use O. So normally it is used for orifice restriction. So O for orifice restriction means orifice. Okay. Then next one is record. If you are using an instrument to record something, strip chart recorder, etc., then R for record. This is also very important. In some situation, you can see TRC means T, recorder and controller. So indication and recording are different function. Indication means it is simply indicating something. It is not recording that variable. Okay. So if the succeeding letter is R, that is record. Okay. Now the remaining things are not important, so I am leaving that. So please remember, A for alarm means if the readout function is one succeeding letter, if it is A, alarm, E for sensor, then I for indicator, then O for orifice, R for record. So please remember, A for alarm, then E for primary element, that is sensor, I for indicator, O for orifice, and R for record. So this one is readout function. So if the instrument is used for output purpose, then we are going to discuss about the fourth letter, means succeeding letter. Okay. So control, the first one, the most important one is control. So for the purpose C is used. I already mentioned about that. C for control. That one is the output purpose. Control. Okay. So C for control. This is very important. Please note it. C for control. So this is very important. Okay. Now S for switch. S for switch. This is also important. S for switch. If you are switching a variable in boiler, you can see that a device is used to switch the flow control signal and pressure control signal. In some situation, we have to use flow control signal. In some situation, we have to use the pressure control signal. Not both. So at that point, we need a switch. So it is represented by using S. Okay. Then T, a popular one. transmitter, that is T. If you are transmitting level, LT for level transmitter. So in last class I told you we have a capacitor probe that is used to sense level, and that signal is given to a block. It is known as transmitter. I told you that. Okay, level transmitter. What is the purpose of level transmitter? Two purposes are the first one, it is converting that sensed value to some current or pressure or something. So, and in last class, that transmitter is used to transmit the sensed value into some another location with 4 to 20 milliampere current. By using 4 to 20 milliampere current, that signal is transmitted to some location. Okay, so transmit. So T is used to represent the transmission. So this is very, very important. Like controller, this one is also very important. So C for control, T for transmit. Okay, very important. Another very important one is valve or damper. Both are represented by using V. V means valve or damper. That is some output function. We are actuating something. Actually, actuator is represented by using another letter Z. After actuation, we need some damper or valve. For example, in boiler, you can see damper, air damper, not valve at that point. You can see damper. So both are represented by using V. V means valve or damper. Okay, now actuator. Actuator is represented by using Z. Please note, we can use A for actuator because A is already used to represent alarm. Anyway, actuation means some movement. That is why Z is used. So Z for actuator. So please remember, C for controller, T for transmission, Z for actuation, and V for valve. Okay, C for controller or control, T for transmit, Z for actuate, V for valve, and finally A for alarm. These are the 5 important variables that you have to remember. C for control, T for transmit, Z for actuate, V for valve, and A for alarm. Okay. So now, in some situation, we need a modifier for this readout function or output function. If you are indicating a high value only, then we need a modifier for I for indicator, and we need a modifier for that indicator. We are indicating high value of something. In some situation, we need to indicate low value. So we can see 2 modifiers, that is high and low. Middle is a rare one. So H for high. If H is modified as a, if H is used as a modifier for succeeding letter, then that is high. If L is used as a modifier for succeeding letter, then you can see L for low. So please note these 2 variables. This is very important. H for high and L for low. Okay. H for high and L for low. So there is no important modifiers as modifier succeeding letter. Any other modifier succeeding letter. So please note L for low, H for